Welcome to AHA Math and Science. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the recent events in the financial sector. Following the collapse of SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic Bank, and Credit Suisse are also in trouble. So what's happening and what's next? These are kind of the questions that are on everyone's mind. So let's start with the share price of Credit Suisse. You can see that its share price has been on decline in the past 2 years. In fact, it's already lost like 80% of its value since January 2021. And at the same time, you can see the broad market, which is represented by SPY and scaled down by 1/50, hasn't changed much. Perhaps even seeing a small gain since January 2021. And we do note that the broad market kind of peaked in January of 2022. So it has been in a bear market for a little over a year now. So what has happened to Credit Suisse? And well, the headline news says that Credit Suisse CDS reached crisis levels as banks rush to buy protections. That news was on March 15th, 2023, just 2 days ago. So the Credit Suisse one-year credit default swaps spikes to distress levels. So what is a credit default swap? Well, it's some kind of an insurance policy that the buyers of CDS will get compensated from the seller when debt defaulting happens. So as a result, you can see the share price dropped about 30% at the opening of March 15th. So this spikes in the CDS is really kind of driven by another piece of news, which says that Saudi National Bank, SNB, said on Wednesday it will not buy more shares in the Swiss bank on regulatory grounds. So the news here really kind of reminds us what actually happened 15 years ago and during the great financial crisis. So we all know that Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy on September 15th, 2008. And then some dramatic events really kind of happened in a week leading to its bankruptcy. So on September 9th, the news says hopes that Korean Development Bank would take a stake in Lehman were dashed on September 9th, and as a state-owned South Korean bank put talks on hold. That kind of similar to what we saw the Saudi National Bank refused to actually buy more stakes in Credit Suisse. And so this news actually led to a 45% drop in the Lehman stock price, and also the firm's debt suffering a 66% increase in CDS. So this is really kind of looks similar or eerily similar to actually what's happening now. And we can also take a look at the share price. So in the 2 years before its bankruptcy, and Lehman Brothers is already on decline and actually lost 80% since January 2007. Well, the broad market represented by SPY declined a little bit, but not a whole lot. We do know that the broad market peaked in October 2007, and it was kind of in a bear market for already like a year. And that's kind of similar to what we are seeing now for the broad market. So, and we all know what happened next. So the share price of Lehman Brothers has just kind of dropped to zero in a week or two, following its bankruptcy. And then a few weeks later, the broad market also had some precipitous drop. And that's really basically the peak of the great financial crisis. So now we are not saying that something like this will happen again, and just will be because the Swiss National Bank just kind of step in and provide liquidity to Credit Suisse. but we don't think that the banking crisis is over and everything is already not clear and resolved, because banking crisis is really like not a problem of just like lack of capital, but more like a problem of lack of confidence. So lack of confidence cannot be really kind of resolved in a matter of few days, as can be seen during the great financial crisis. So it takes time to restore the confidence of our clients and customers. And what's really kind of worrisome is actually the optimism among the bank analysts. So on March 16th, just yesterday, a well-known bank analyst, Liquidity, claims that the crisis is over, following the reports that the nation's largest private banks will provide $30 billion in liquidity to stabilize First Republic Bank. So his exact word is, banking crisis is over. And now let's go back to 15 years ago, almost exactly 15 years ago, March 20th, 2008, following the bankruptcy of Bear Stearns and also some dramatic moves by Federal Reserve. Richard Bouvet delivered a report and with a bold heading that says the financial crisis is over. And we all know what happened a few months later. So the kind of optimism among the bank analysts and also the pattern for the share price and even the decline of the broad market, you can see kind of a eerily similar pattern between the present time and then 15 years ago. And that's really kind of worrisome. So is really the banking crisis over? Or maybe, it's not over. And I think some caution is perhaps really kind of needed at this time. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and find the information presented here interesting. Please do not forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our channel so that you can see more videos like this one. And thank you for watching.